Welcome everybody to this video. Today, in this video, we are going to make some
bread.
Yeah, what are we making again?
Pretzel
bread? I
bread?
literally just forgot. We are making pretzel rolls. So what I love about pretzel buns is they're like pretzels. Not really like pretzels, but it's, I don't know, I can't describe what it is about the taste that I like, but I really love those. And because we're making a lot of bread ourselves these days, because it's so easy with the bread maker, that I just decided I'm just going to make it in the bread maker. So here's how we're going to do it. First, we're going to add the liquid ingredients. So I've got my cup there and
2 eggs. How do you get it in like the cross pretzel shape?
Well, they're not going to be like pretzels. They're going to be buns.
Oh. 2 eggs.
Now the recipe actually calls for 1 1/4 cups of water, but I always put eggs in when I'm making bread. It makes it more nutritious, at least in my mind.
And healthier.
By adding eggs, you're adding protein and all the nutrients in the eggs. Otherwise, bread isn't really all that nutritious. I mean, it's carbs. Yeah, a little bit of protein from the gluten. So I put 2 eggs in there.
I can get another egg.
That's okay. To this egg, since you never know how much an egg is actually going to be, so I just put the eggs in there first, and then to get 1 1/4 cups of water, all I do is just add it up to the 1 1/4 cups line.
Making a potion. Yeah, you're making a water and egg potion.
There we go. That's 1 1/4 cups of quote-unquote water.
Can I pour it?
I think this time I'll do it.
Then
Make sure you put the paddle in there first. That will be hard to put in there after you've put in the liquid. You can do it, but a little more messy. What's next? 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You
Can I
use
put the flour in?
red flour as well, but
We don't get that fancy.
and this is kind of a weird shaped.
Cup?
Yeah, I don't know where that even came from.
But it came from somewhere.
Good job. See, 1 cup. You can do this all by hand if you want.
All by hand? Like kneading the dough and everything?
Yeah, I just say use the bread maker.
How do you make it rise? Like you put it in the oven?
We're gonna put some yeast in here, and that will make it rise.
I'll go bring the They used to put it in the oven.
Now there's 3 cups, and then you're gonna add sugar. 3 tablespoons of brown sugar.
Can I try some? No. Too unhealthy.
You can just use regular sugar if you want to.
That's an interesting lid. You just go and it opens.
I like to use brown sugar though, because you get a little bit of a darker, it just seems more authentic.
I love baking. The shape stayed in there.
Sometimes too, I'll put all the dry ingredients in a container, and then I'll mix it. But here, I'm just kind of being a little lazy, I guess. Although I will actually kind of break up this sugar.
Let's see.
Next thing we want is 1 tablespoon of salt.
It seems funny that you need salt in bread.
It does, but you can kind of notice if it's missing.
You can?
Yeah, it just tastes a little bit off.
Because you're used to it with salt?
Actually, when I was a kid,
Yeast?
yeah, my dad used to make bread all the time in the bread machine. 1 1/2 teaspoon of yeast.
So
Instant
it'll
yeast.
rise.
And to answer your question, that's what makes it rise.
Actually, that's 2018. How many years old is that?
Yeah, this is 2 years old, but it's been kind of in the freezer and in the back of the fridge.
It.
And it does fine. And we're getting low, so we might have to buy another bulk batch of it.
Don't put the whole jar in there.
Okay, so that's it for that. So here we go. Here's our bread machine. We got this bread machine secondhand. That's probably the best way to get a bread machine. But I see them in thrift stores a lot because people buy them because they think they're going to make bread
And then they
all the
never
time,
make
and
it.
apparently they never do. And
We do.
I don't know. Yeah, we do. So, or just buy one
Wow.
new.
Can I
Now-
press the button?
We are going to put this on just dough. Because we're not actually making bread here. We're just really using this machine to make the dough.
Oh, so that we actually ourselves shape it and stuff?
Yeah. We don't have to do all the work to knead it and all that stuff.
I want to try that
Just make-
one time.
We probably will, but for now, just let the machine do it, and then we can go do something else. So this will take an hour and a half to knead it, and then let it rise. Go ahead and press start. And there, it's going to start going. There it goes. We'll come back in an hour and a half, I guess.
Back on.
All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get this water bath ready. It's a baking soda water bath, and we're going to take 4 cups of water. There, that's 4 cups. We're going to get this boiling. Let's take a look at our bread here.
Dough.
Our dough. You're right. Thank you for correcting me. Now, I do happen to know somebody stuck their finger in there. Right about there. And, you know, it's okay.
It's okay.
This is cooled off to be able to handle now.
It gets hot.
Yep.
I didn't know.
That'll get hot. I'm just gonna
flip it over and shake till it comes out. Ooh. We'd better get the paddle out of there.
Yep.
Ooh, sticky.
It's really sticky.
Stickier than I thought. We need some of that stuff you spread around. Oh, flour so it doesn't stick to your hands? I think that would be a good idea. Miss.
Yeah. Alright. Actually, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay. That's one way to do it if you don't have any tools.
Ooh,
Otherwise,
it's actually not as... That's a good way to do it. That's one way. Can I taste? And then there's other ways.
Okay.
Cut that one in half.
Half again. Now somehow these did not end up being... We should end up with like 8 of them.
2, 4, 6, 8. It's actually less sticky now that they've formed a crustal out in open air, I think. The humid air inside there, I think, made it sticky.
Let's go check on the water. Not boiling because we didn't turn it on.
That's no good.
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually do an egg wash. Okay. Just for after we put them in the hot water bath, so...
Just so you don't get that mixed up.
Yeah. You can use butter too. I think a lot of people use butter, just melted butter, just brush it on. But I like to use an egg.
Try.
It gives it more of a, like a seal kind of thing to it, so... Okay, so our water is boiling here. What we're actually going to do with this is we are going to put baking soda in here, and then we are going to boil the dough. And that dough is there's gonna be a chemical reaction that's gonna take place that's gonna brown that dough. This is actually what gives it the pretzel sort of like flavor and look and everything. I've done some research on this. This is like the defining characteristic of pretzel. 1/4 cup of baking soda, okay? So back up. This will fizz.
That's like when you put vinegar inside when you make a volcano.
So now we've got our these ready to go here.
You gotta be careful. 30 seconds on each side. Estimate how much that is.
30 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can do it. Speed it up. 28, 29, 30.
Okay, counted a little bit fast. I can tell from the counter, the timer on the video, it's not quite 30 seconds yet, but right now it probably is.
30.
So, flip.
It's flattened it out, but it doesn't look like a pretzel yet. 23, 24,
Okay.
25, 6.
That's about 30. Set this down on my
It's slippery now.
pan there. Actually going to do 2 at a time. That's
Saves time. Look at that big bubble right in the middle. Boy, I hope your bubbles aren't that hot when you get in the bath. 3, 2, 1. 30.
let the water drip out. Go ahead and put it down there. I'm going to do 3.
They're moving themselves. How are they doing that? Bubbles. It's like they're just sinking. They're sinking.
While this is going on, we're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees.
Hot.
Yeah. Okay, here you can kind of see what's transpired with that chemical reaction that I mentioned. There's kind of a bubbly surface there, which is good. That's what we want.
That's what makes it look like a pretzel.
So what we're going to do now, we are going to use our egg.
How well do we cover it?
Just kind of paint it all the way around.
That looks like butter melted on your piece of bread. Only it's going to be even better.
This guy is going to come out kind of interesting. Okay, here we are. We've got a pretty unique cast of characters.
Unique cast of characters.
Now, for the final touches, before it goes into the oven, I will score.
Yeah, not the kind you do in baseball or football games.
The whole point is, as it expands, you don't want it to kind of explode open. You just kind of want it to controlled open, if that makes sense. And this will kind of give it the classic look.
You get better at crisscrossing them as you go.
They look pretty good. They've got character. They're not. You're not going to see this on a cover of a magazine, but that's why we call this the unpretentious kitchen. So, and I'm using my French Silpat silicone baking sheet, which I love and use all the time. As you can tell, because it's all kind of browned and
used.
Yeah, you can tell it's used, can't you?
I've seen this so often, I don't know what a new one looks like.
At 400 degrees here, we're going to put this in. Start out. We'll go with 20 minutes. All right, here we go.
It's getting a little
grand reveal.
Those look nice and brown. What?
Let's take a look here at these. Wow.
Wow.
They look good.
Hey, that guy's still connected.
And that guy's still connected. Didn't lose anybody here.
Nope.
How do they feel? These have lots of character, as you can see. They're not perfect. I'm going to let these cool off before I cut into them. Cut into them right away, they will definitely lose the moisture. So I'm pretty happy with how they turned out.
Delicious looking. Some of your favorite kind of bread. If you put a little butter on the insides, that would be perfect.
And maybe I'll show you later what I'm going to use these for. You can use these for hamburgers. You can use these for anything. Just eating, you can use them for.
Just butter or anything.
Butter. Yeah.
Daddy's favorite kind of bread turned out really good.
You did, thank you.